Hi everybody, Scott Cunningham from Cunningham Realty. Yesterday, Gretchen and I were sitting around talking. We were thinking about different ideas for videos. We enjoy doing these videos and we try to come up with ideas that we think, or come up with videos that we think people will find informative and helpful and stuff like that. And we were discussing, the first thing that we talked about is, let's talk about buyers. Well, right now we're going to talk about sellers. We started out saying, what is the one thing that we wish buyers knew? Well, we decided we couldn't come up with just one, so we came up with three. We're going to do the same thing here with sellers. We could obviously narrow it down to one, but we came up with what we think are the three most important things that we wish sellers knew or knew better. Number one is easy: proper pricing. It is so important to set the right price, the proper price on your home. If you've got a $200,000 house, and this happened before the market exploded when COVID hit, we'd have a house and we'd tell somebody and go, okay, we think your house is worth roughly $190,000 to $200,000. And somebody go, okay, great, let's start at $250,000. It's like, what? What didn't you understand? Well, let's see if we can get a home run. Let's see if we can get big money for it. The problem is that even if you had somebody offer you $250,000 for it, it's not going to appraise out. It's in probably 95% of the homes that sell in this part of Wisconsin, an appraisal is going to be done. We use the same information that appraisers do. And if we do our research and we find comps and do all the different things and say we think it's worth between 190 and 200, an appraiser is going to use the same information. So even if you were to get that, it's probably not going to appraise out. But what happens is, if you set it too high and it sits there and it's been on the market, and 2 weeks you go, geez, we haven't had a showing yet. You drop the price 10 grand. Another week or two, maybe you get one or two showings, you don't get any offers, drop it another 10 grand. Till you finally get to the right price. We've seen it so many times where a beautiful house will sit and sit and sit, and the price will drop and drop and drop. All of a sudden, it'll get to the right price, and the people will get 10 showings and 3 offers within 2 days. We've seen that many times. We had a host just recently that we helped some people sell. They started out too high. We told them where we thought it should be. They started out probably $50,000 higher than what I thought it should be. Sat on the market. We did not have a single showing for, I think it was like 12 days or something like that. And we said, guys, it's too high. We told you at the beginning. And we always warn people, if you have a house on the market, if you're getting 0 showings, it means your price is way too high. If you get a few showings but you don't get any offers, it means you're close. You're a little bit too high. You're close enough for people are curious, but you're not quite right there. So again, price it right. And what happens is, if it sits on the market for too long, now buyers start to wonder what's wrong with the house. They go, wow, this house has been on the market for 45 days. I wonder why it hasn't sold. I wonder what's wrong with it. I wonder what the sellers are hiding. Buyers get nervous. They get suspicious, And again, a lot of times as a realtor, we can go, hey, look right here. And we can show them the price drops. Go, okay, well, you can see it started here, then it dropped to here, to here, to here, to here, and so on. So, heck with all that. Just price it right. Have your house be clean. That's such a big thing, is that, and I'm not saying empty it out. I'm not saying throw all the kids' toys in the garbage can. If you're still living at the house, that's fine. It can be lived in, but have it clean. There's a big difference between having a house that's got some stuff in it and having a house that's clean. And to me, that's the number one thing when it comes to showing a house, that we could, would it be nice if all the walls were painted different colors, you had new carpet, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sometimes. We've done videos about that. You can check that out sometime. But have your house clean, and declutter it as much as you can, but just have it clean. If you got a bunch of kids' toys in the living room, that's fine. But vacuum, dust, clean it up a little bit. And number 3, be flexible for showings. Selling a house is a pain in the neck. You're going to get the house on the market. If it's priced right, you're going to get a bunch of showings. In fact, if it's priced right, you should get a ton of showings in the first day or two. Be prepared to be inconvenienced. You're going to have showings. Hopefully it works out where you got showings at 9 and 9:30 and 10, and then one at 10:45 at 11:15, and you're going to be coming and going. A lot of times what we do is we recommend to people to say, hey, you know what, let's get this house on the market, like say maybe on a Friday evening, a Saturday morning. Why don't you guys just leave town for the weekend? Or do you have any plans to go anywhere for anything? Or, maybe let's get it on the market on a day you guys you're working, you're not going to be home. So it is an inconvenience. Be flexible for showings and do absolutely everything you can to allow showings whenever a buyer wants to see it. Because buyers sometimes, just like buyers and sellers, a lot of us work unusual hours. If you really, really want to sell your house and somebody wants to come see your house at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, try to make that work. Now, if you can't, you got little kids, they got to go to bed. We understand that, but just do what you can to accommodate showings and help buyers out. So those are the three things that we really wish that sellers knew or knew better. If you got any questions, feel free, give me a call, shoot me a text, 715-296-7557. Obviously, if you'd like some help from us as realtors to help you buy, sell, or a combination of the two, please get a hold of us. Feel free to check out our website, teamcunninghamwi.com. If you are watching this on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're at, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, whatever it might be. Share it. That would be fantastic. If you've not done so, please go on our YouTube page and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube page. The more people subscribe, the more people it goes out to, the more people see it, the more that we can help. So again, we appreciate you taking the time to watch us. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Bye now.